Somebody once came in with a whole load of objects, including this tablet, which, to cut a long story short, I identified pretty much straight away as being part of the flood story. It was a tablet about 8 inches by 3. Not the whole flood story, which is the complex narrative, which ended up in the Gilgamesh narrative much, much later. But this one was an early narrative in which the point was taken up where the gods in heaven had decided that the population of Mesopotamia needed to be wiped out because they were so noisy.
Mm-hmm.
This was the expression. And the gods couldn't sleep after lunch, sort of thing. So they decided they would wipe them out and create something quieter that worked harder. So this was the basic mechanism, and they had different ways of doing it. And then the most effective one was they were going to send a flood to wipe them all out. And one of the gods, the number 3 in the triumvirate, thought this was a deplorable idea, so he took it upon himself to warn this person called Atrahasis, who lived in Mesopotamia, to build a boat to rescue life when the waters came. And in it, he told him the shape of it and the materials he would need and how much he would need of the materials, so he could do it safely. And in the 60 lines of the tablet, all this stuff was there. It was like a blueprint to build this boat. And it was extraordinary because it was round, the boat. And everybody who knew their Bible, the Ark's sort of coffin shape kind of affair, and nobody thought of it being a round boat. And the fact is that round boats were used in Mesopotamia on the rivers, coracles, that's to say, because for transporting things, and they would never sink. They were very appropriate. And so in this story, it was decided it was going to be a giant coracle, a really, really big one that would never sink, and the male and female animals could go in, and Atrahasis' wife and his 3 sons and so forth could go in, and everything would be there, and it would float on the water. And when it came down, they said, we'll start all over again. So it's got very many points in common with the description of the flood in Genesis. And of course, so did the one in Gilgamesh. So in 1872, there was an Assyriologist in the British Museum called George Smith. And he was a very, very talented reader. And in 1872, he discovered that one of the tablets from the Nineveh library we were talking about before had on it a passage which ran in parallel with Gilgamesh about the waters coming and the boat and everybody floating, and even to the point that when the rain stopped and the ark came to rest on a mountain, that the hero of this thing in Gilgamesh, who was called Utnapishtim, released a bird 3 times to see whether the trees had come up. And the first one came back, and the second one and the third one didn't, so he knew that. So this was not only in the Epic of Gilgamesh, but it was also in the book of Genesis. So what it meant was that it wasn't, you couldn't have 2 stories. It wasn't 2 stories about the same thing. It was literary dependence. It was literary dependence. The one was locked into the other. The text of the Hebrew Bible, from whenever it was written down, of course, nobody knows quite when, but whenever it was about the same time as the one from Nineveh, about the 7th century, 6th century, something like that. The time interval between the Gilgamesh version from Nineveh and the Hebrew Bible is not like a big expanse of time. So there was an argument that one goes this way and one goes that way. But then when this tablet came in 1,000 years older, nobody believes the Bible was written in 1700 BC. So the primacy of the Mesopotamian matter was established. And it's important because you never get floods in Jerusalem. You just don't. But in Mesopotamia, they had floods. The rivers, sometimes there wasn't enough water, sometimes there was too much, sometimes there was far too much water. So the mechanism that the waters could be used as a destructive force by the powers that be is a plausible Mesopotamian mechanism. And it's based in a sort of sense, in my opinion, in reality. I think there must have been some tsunami once. Most people were drowned, and those who survived were in boats, obviously, and then afterwards nobody ever forgot it. And it went on and on
So you
and
mean
on.
there actually could have been a catastrophic event of a
Yeah,
large
not the
scale,
whole world, because people
but just enough to imagine.
sweeping down to the Persian Gulf, and the flat plains, everything would be destroyed, all the houses would be destroyed, animals would be drowned. And
This is an incredible discovery. Do you think it's possible that this is the original? There are flood myths in many cultures.
I believe this. The Mesopotamians had a deep-seated horror of dependency on water when they couldn't control it. They were fearful of it. And they had a rainbow in Babylonia, like in the Bible, as a proof that the disastrous flood would never happen again. But I think there must have been one episode of this kind, maybe 5,000 years before the tablet, 10,000, it doesn't matter, because with the passage of time, nothing happens in that part of the world. So something will be alive, grandfather to grandson, before you go to sleep. And remember, my boy, you only have to be careful, because otherwise, and all that stuff, for sure, bogeyman stuff, it never quite died out in their conscious minds. So I think that when the Judeans from Jerusalem, after the destruction of the temple and by the Babylonians and the rout of the priesthood and everything, the king and the others went overland to Babylon as refugees, and they had to live there for 3 generations of time under Nebuchadnezzar's reign. So I believe that the text of the Bible was written then, because if you read the Bible attentively, which I can't say I do on a regular basis, but if you do read it dispassionately, you have the mechanism that the early books of the Bible explain to the reader how it is that these people are in such a mess, because they're supposed to be the chosen people doing all that. Look they haven't got a temple, they haven't got a country, they're washed up and everything like that. So I think that what happened was it's a complex thing, but the Judeans from Jerusalem, they spoke Hebrew, but they also spoke Aramaic, right? The 2 languages, their sister languages. And the Babylonians spoke Babylonian, and they also spoke Aramaic. And they all wore the same kind of clothes, and they all had brown skin. And when all these refugees from Jerusalem were milling around in Babylonia, they would have intermarried and disappeared within no time at all. And the authorities who were there prevented this by drawing up a kind of charter of their history, explaining things from the beginning of time up until now, how it happened and what happened, and it was all intentional. So that is, in my opinion, the driving force behind the Hebrew text. And the thing about it is that they didn't have, in Jewish philosophical tradition, stuff about creation and the beginning of the world. And they took Babylonian ideas, which they learnt when they were there, and they recycled them. So whereas the Babylonians decided that the gods were going to wipe out the noisy persons, when the Jewish philosophers got this narrative to recycle about the vengeful Almighty, he was in the Old Testament a very unpleasant and vengeful person. It was because of sin. It wasn't because of racket and playing the radio. It was sin. So they took one narrative and they recycled it for their own purposes.
The flood is a useful tool to punish people for whatever X is.
That's exactly right. And something else is this, right? You have 5 days to build the ark, or whatever it is, or 2 weeks to build the ark. So the clock goes tick, 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 tick. And about a third of the films that come out of Hollywood are the world's going to be demolished by aliens, and you've got 24 hours to think of a cure, tick, 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 tick. So that narrative is irresistible, that one man can save the world, if he's lucky, in time, from disaster. So it starts off with Utnapishtim, and it goes on to Noah, and then it goes on to Hollywood.